I'm about to do an hour-long reaction to a death battle. If this is the first of my videos you've come across, then I will miss the 10 seconds we just shared together. For the rest of us, it's finally happening! Hello Internet, I'm your only mate, and it's time for a very personally important death battle. We have Blake Belladonna from RWBY versus Mikasa Ackerman from Attack on Titan. Now before I go into any kind of pre-rambling, as I should say with all reaction videos, please click the link in the description, go watch the actual episode itself before watching mine or anyone's reactions. Don't be a dick, support the official release. Okay, now, this matchup might not seem like a whole lot to you, but in case it's entirely possible you're not familiar with my channel, this has been that one fight I've always wanted to see. Like, to give you a good example, I would say this is my personal Goku versus Superman. And, the reason for that is because, well, I love both these shows and both of these characters, and I pulled some things off a shelf of mine just to really hammer that home. Right, so we got RWBY Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, 6, and 7. I don't have the Volume 8 Blu-ray yet, well, because it's not out yet, but you can find a lot of reactions to that on my channel. Also got the Blake Anthology manga, got the others as well, but Blake's the one I pried off my shelf just because it was relevant. And I've also got After the Fall and Before the Dawn, written by E.C. Myers. Both great, love that they gave some spotlight to other things, but that's not the important thing. And fans of my channel might also remember this Gamble Shroud that Max a Few Trades got for me as a Christmas present. Now on the Attack on Titan side of things, we got Season 1, Season 2, Season 3 Part 1, and Season 3 Part 2. I do have more, but I couldn't be asked to pry my whole stash of Attack on Titan manga, so I'll just include like a photo maybe here. Books 8 through to 32, I have number 33 on the way from Amazon. It'll be here when it gets here. It's just unfortunately not here in time. And to really give you an idea, I've watched a lot of anime, not really gotten into the manga of any of them. Attack on Titan is the first anime where I genuinely wanted to get into the manga. And I'm usually that person who will rather watch things rather than read it. Like, if you give me a Harry Potter book, I'll get one page in, and then just go, why am I doing this? It's on DVD. Like, I'm that guy. So the fact that I wanted to get into the manga, like, as well as the anime, I think that just shows how much I really freaking loved Attack on Titan when I got into it. Okay, I know I'm gonna go on for a big ramble, but considering what this episode is for me, I think I'm allowed to do it just this once, at the bare minimum. I'll try my best to include timestamps in, like, a pinned comment or something. So if you want to skip ahead, go for it. Like, I'm not stopping you. Now, I got into RWBY when the Red trailer first came out. I fell in love with it, and the more and more of it I watched, Blake became my favorite character. It was a tie between her and Yang for a long time, but, you know, as time went on, Blake just, like, inched her way closer and closer to just being my all-time favorite. And all that great stuff. As for Attack on Titan, I got into it because of this matchup. Like, after Yang vs. Tifa and RWBY versus Maka being confirmed to happen, I thought, okay, so Blake and Weiss are pretty much inevitable, and lo and behold, Weiss ended up getting in. So I was looking into Blake matchups, and I came across Mikasa. Hers, like, this matchup being the one I liked the most for Blake. Then the more I looked into it, the more I thought, okay, this Mikasa girl seems really cool. Then I watched Attack on Titan, and I've never looked back since. And the more of it I watched, Mikasa became my favorite character of all of them. My top 5 being Armin, Historia. I want to say a tie between Levi and Sasha. I love those two, like, so much, but Mikasa is definitely number 1. So, I wouldn't really call myself an expert on any characters, like, in terms of, like, looking into a matchup between the two, except this one. Now, you might remember I got quite excited when I saw the Attack on Titan tease at the end of Hulk vs. Broly. That being because, well, yeah, this was a matchup that I wanted, and it involves an Attack on Titan character, but honestly, I was just excited to see a Attack on Titan character in general. So, in prep for this, I went back through all of these, and I just want to preface, I've been through these multiple times each. I went through all of them again ever since Hulk vs. Broly happened, because I wanted to make absolutely sure I got everything. Okay, so let's quickly go over weaponry. So RWBY has the whole thing. It's also a gun. Usually if someone has a weapon, it's usually part gun. In Blake's case, she has Gamble's Shroud, which is part katana, part, I keep forgetting what it's called. It's the form where it's essentially like a grapple sort of thing. And of course, it's also a pistol. Even its sheath as a sword, which is really freaking cool. It's an extremely versatile weapon, and Blake adds to this with dust. And she carries all sorts of kinds. She's got, just regular dust rounds, fire, ice, rock, electric. There's like another one where it just makes her shadow clones linger a little longer, which plays into her aura and semblance. So, aura, for those who don't know, in RWBY, it's essentially like essentially a manifestation of your soul. Like, it's something that will protect you in combat, heal minor wounds if possible, and also lets you unlock your semblance, in Blake's case being the shadow clones, where she can leave like just a shadow clone of herself to trip up the opponent so she can counterattack. And she uses dust to make all the elemental clones, like the fire clone, that one being my personal favorite, the ice clone, rock clone, like, she can do a lot. And now for Mikasa, she's got the vertical maneuvering equipment, or ODM gear in the anime. I'm just going to call it that because it's way easier than saying vertical maneuvering equipment all the time. And it's one of my favorite things in anime, just because it looks so freaking cool, and it lets you swing around like Spider-Man, and Spider-Man being my favorite superhero, so that being a thing as well. And she can have all kinds of weapons on it. She's got all her swords, which she uses to slay titans, or even cut through people, if need be. There's a new version in Season 4 and the later parts of the manga, where she can have, like, pistols attached to it as well. And she's also got all the thunder spears that she can carry. Now, as good as the ODM gear is, it has a few problems. Most notably being that it runs on a limited supply of gas. And once Mikasa runs out of gas, that's it. And, well, yeah, she's been stated to be quite fast with the ODM gear. That is because she's using up more of it and just burning through her supply at a faster rate. And that's really just the issue with Mikasa's arsenal in general. Like, even her swords, they do break over time, which is why they're based off of box cutters. They have all the lines going down them, like, it's all the sections that break off. Or if she hits something that's just too strong, they'll just break immediately. So, while that's happening, yeah, Blake's sword has been broken before, but it's been broken by an opponent who atomized a giant spider droid with one sword swing. And I really don't think Mikasa should be capable of a blow quite like that. Yeah, so as good as Mikasa's arsenal is, it's not like as versatile or reliable as Blake's. Right? But now we've got speed. This one's insanely easy to figure out because the fastest thing Attack on Titan characters do is evade bullets. Like, there aren't any lightning or anything higher than that kind of feats in that show. However, not only has Blake done that too, she's also dodged lightning. In her fight with the Sea Fei Long in Volume 4, alongside Sun Wukong, I know some people have debated whether or not that is considered lightning, but it visibly electrocutes Sun, it channels through metal parts of the boat that they're on, and it's stated in the official RWBY companion book as lightning breath. And also going back to Zuko versus Shoto Todoroki, I said Zuko. Yeah, Zuko versus Shoto. They mentioned Kaminari's lightning and how scientifically there are very few ways that electricity can move through the air, so logically if someone blasts like, electricity, it's comparable to natural lightning. So in Blake's case, it would be that, and even if you don't want to believe that, you could scale her to Yang and Adam. Yang can keep up with Mercury Black, who dodged lightning against Amber, the full maiden at the time. So, RWBY characters pretty consistently lightning timers. Now, when it comes to strength, that's a big thing that people will bring up for Mikasa, how she's stronger than pretty much anybody in Attack on Titan, and how Eren mentioned that she can manifest Titan strength when she awakens as an Ackerman, which she did when she was a little kid. Few things, though. His exact words were partly manifest Titan strength. So it's really difficult to take that at face value, and you can't really scale her to a Titan anyway. Because the way they deal with Titans in the show is they exploit an instant kill weak point, which they've been trained to do for like many, many years. So, and Mikasa's never punched one in the face and like knocked it over. If she ever did that, then oh yeah, absolutely. But she never did, so it's really just out there to really go that route. And even if you did, there's a lot of feats that you could scale Blake to that she maybe or maybe doesn't scale to that would end up being higher. But really it just comes down to, yeah, Mikasa can cut through essentially like flesh and bone, like, sure. But Blake can cut through robots like they're wet paper. There's that. And I'm not saying Mikasa is completely helpless, because I'm basically just saying, oh yeah, Blake has this edge and this isn't in this edge. But one of the things that I really hope they do bring up with Mikasa is paths. And essentially that connects all Ackermans to each other. So when she awakens as an Ackerman, she'll gain all the battle experience of every Ackerman before her. And considering Ackermans have been around for like 100 years, despite them being the exact same age, Mikasa has a century of experience to pull from. It's one of the weirder things about Attack on Titan. Think of it like Aang's Avatar state, except it's pretty much permanent. And I only mean Avatar state in terms of the knowledge and experience of those before them. Like, that aspect of it. Now, yeah, I'm very, very, very confident that Blake should win. However, it is entirely possible that Death Battle might have gone a different route. Like, maybe there's something I overlooked, maybe there's something I over-exaggerated, or didn't really give as much credit as I should have. It's totally possible, but based on everything I know, I want to say Blake wins 90% of the time in terms of, like their first initial confrontation. And even then, I'm not too sure, but Okay, you know what? Forget the percentage. I just think Blake wins more often than not. Like, yeah, there's the possibility that Mikasa could win under certain circumstances, like pretty much any matchup. And if anything, she does have a win condition going for her. And that would be if she lands a direct hit with a Thunder Spear. If she can do that, then yeah, she could absolutely win. The problem being, Blake's more than fast enough to not let that happen. And even then, Mikasa would have to get in close in order to do it, and Blake just has a bigger strength advantage. And well, yeah, experience does help in a fight. It can only do so much. If your opponent is stronger and faster than you, there's not a whole lot you can do in the long run. So, that's my piece. I believe Blake should win based on what I know. But I'm really anxious to see what this animation is. I've been going on for so long that the fight has been out for like 7 minutes. But, yeah, I want to see the animation. I want to hear the rest of the track from what all that is. I want to hear the voice actors. I want to find out who that is voicing Mikasa. Because it's been driving me, like, nuts over the past few days, ever since I saw the preview on Death Battlecast. You'll find a reaction to that on my channel. Now, I'm also going to be doing something a little different this time. After Blake's analysis, I'm going to pause and talk about what I think about her analysis. And then after Mikasa's analysis, I'm going to talk about hers. Then go into who I think is going to win, purely based off of what Death Battle said. Then just pretty much watch the episode as I normally do. I've waited half a decade at minimum for this fight. I've talked about it with a whole bunch of my friends, like Kira Armstrong, C Spadina, Max a few trades, Yang Insane, like, list goes on. Like, they know how much I want this fight. Apparently a lot of people in the Death Battle community know how much I want this fight. Which still blows my mind in so many ways. I'm going to have to talk about that at the end as well. But enough waiting. I'm going to put my headphones on, shut up, hit play, and finally watch my dream episode. Wow, 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 wow. I'm always so, like, nervous when...
Belladonna, the feline huntress from RWBY. And Mikasa Ackerman, the giant killing scout from Attack on Titan. These two reluctant heroes...
Not bad titles.
What'll happen when they go toe-to-toe to see who's the swingiest and the cuttiest? He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Oh, the animation looks so good.
Those who make peaceful revolution.
I've been so excited for this episode for like 2 weeks. Like, my heart and stomach have gone nuts. Not in a super big, health-threatening way. Cut in. Yeah. Okay. Inspired by Beauty and the Beast, yeah. Likes reading Tuna and Yang. Dislikes dogs, social interactions, and Adam. Yep. I also love the Ginger Kylo Ren name for Adam. I mean, it was a mixture of him and Sienna Khan, but it was mostly Adam, so yeah.
She's not a gorilla, Wiz. She's clearly a cat. You dingus. That's not what I mean. Clearly cat funnest. Blake's got superhuman strength, speed, and endurance. She can see in the dark and even pick up on sounds regular humans can't hear. Blake has also unlocked her aura.
Them cat is, yo.
Of one's soul, similar to the Eastern concept of chi.
I do like that little effect there too.
Stand intense damage. Though if it's overtaxed,
Yeah, aura's super handy.
just as any ordinary human. Her aura survived this huge flying monster called the Nevermore crashing into her twice. Measuring the size of the Nevermore compared to the stone structure,
Nearly 5 tons.
we can gauge it had to have fragmented over 2,000 cubic meters of rock. That means Blake's aura ate over 4 tons of
personally has
TNT without even breaking.
I guess you could say she's
much stronger than that. Okay. That's the perfect scene to use. And that was a perfect scene to use for, like, okay. Kasurigama, that's it. Okay.
Hell, its sheath is a sword too. That's just showing off, and I like it.
It's so good.
6-meter-long elastic ribbon attached to the katana's hilt lets Blake use Gamble's Shroud as a grappling hook for maneuverability and creative attacks. An invaluable asset for the White Fang and her new boyfriend.
Well, it really threatened to blow up a bunch of innocent people. Now, instead of a
And an abusive relationship.
that is bad.
Horrified,
That
Blake
too.
turned her back on Adam and the White Fang, and for the second time in her life, she ran away.
It's like running away is her superpower.
In a sense, it is. Blake's aura allows her to manifest a unique
That was actually a good transition to a semblance, yeah.
shadow. Born from her desire to escape, Blake can create a brief, intangible clone for deception, evasion, or even to propel herself through the air.
She can even
Super
mix
helpful.
them with different kinds of dust, which is basically magic gunpowder. Fire dust clones will explode on impact, while ice will freeze.
Where the hell do you get those? You know, why do I even question it?
That's it for her semblance too.
Referencing Chief. Oh, God.
Man, I killed him, and it wasn't even on purpose.
What the
Don't worry, just some biological cloning. It's a hobby. Don't ask if I'm the original. I
Oh.
genuinely don't know anymore.
You know what? That's actually really good footage to use in the background.
Call home. Until she reached Beacon Academy. There, she learned to be a huntress, a soldier of peace sworn to protect the land from monsters and any that would do it harm.
And she wouldn't do it alone. Blake would join up with fellow huntresses in training, Weiss Schnee, Yang Xiaolong, and Ruby Rose to make
Team RWBY.
with a W.
She didn't just find teammates, but friends as well.
Feelings gross. Don't worry, the power of friendship didn't get in the way of her kicking some ass. In
some
fact,
slice,
it made
okay.
her even better at it. She's defeated the gangster
land
Roman
defeated.
Torchwick, the
Yep.
kaiju-sized Sea Fei Long, and the
Feels
assassin
like brief. Yep, it's in there.
and they could dodge natural lightning.
Okay, yes, yes.
Traveled relative to the lightning bolt, we can determine they were moving over 26,000 meters per second, nearly 80 times the speed of sound.
She even managed to stand up to
Okay.
Ash, and all his mom just doesn't understand energy with the help of a new, way less toxic partner. So long, you abusive a-hole.
No easy feat considering Adam was strong enough to pulverize this massive spider droid with his moon slice.
Okay.
A feat worth over 4 tons of TNT.
Not too bad for a bootleg version.
Thought it would have been bigger, but
Shroud could take hits
well,
like
well.
that over and over before breaking.
Despite her troubled past, Blake would never stop fighting for a better, more peaceful, more equitable world. She was done running. With her friends at her side, she would face the future head on.
I really like how that wrapped up.
So long.
Okay, I really love how that analysis wrapped up. Just highlighting how, yeah, she's done with running and just everything that she's been through with Team RWBY. Oh, man, just like the editing on that, just like the shot of her and her parents just staring at Sun after Blake makes that pun. Sorry, after Wiz makes that pun. Sorry, I would love to see Blake make a pun, though. That was really, really good. And having the brief moment where she's about to slap Sun as Boomstick was saying, don't do that again. Like, great use of that scene. Also, like, I wasn't expecting chibi footage to be used for this, but the way it was used in the background for Wiz's clones, okay. That was good. That was good. I love that a lot. I mean, though, if I could have added one thing to it, I would have had Boomstick say, "Now that's a katana," when talking about Gamble's Shroud. I mean, maybe it could happen later in the episode. I don't know. But I just think it would have been a nice little nod. And I feel like they might be saving bigger numbers for later, because they mainly mentioned, oh yeah, this was like 4 tons, this was 4 tons, but it was in the black box. The Blake has gotten stronger since then, so that makes me think, yeah, they're going to be saving bigger calcs for later, so I'll keep that in mind. But enough talking, let's finally watch Death Battle tackle their first ever Attack on Titan character. Scenic Shiganshina.
Enjoy the rustic medieval architecture, hardy populace, and
Yep, that can't be good. I'm trying to sync it up as best I can.
The last remnants of humanity were driven to
Near extinction by the arrival of the monstrous titans. There we go. Okay, that should work.
little Mikasa Ackerman lived a happy,
Ginger
normal life
human.
until her parents were
Likes ice cream, her scarf. Aaron. Yep.
But never fear, she
Let's,
reversed the shit out of those assholes with the help of Aaron Yeager, another
Say
pint-sized
psychopath in training.
adopted by
I'm making absolutely sure I sync this up properly because I don't really pause in the middle of the analysis. This is all the first episode, by the way, if you're not familiar.
by titans. I'm sensing a pattern here.
with barely any
Yeah, if you live in the Attack on Titan world, your life is gonna suck.
became Aaron's guardian angel.
Certainly a valuable asset to Aaron, who devoted his life to exterminating the Titan threats.
He was a very angry lad.
Military and got their hands on some sweet Titan slaying gear. The vertical maneuver.
I'm still so happy they used the manga name at least once.
Also known as omnidirectional movement or ODM gear in the anime, it allows
I do prefer saying ODM gear, honestly.
Titans at their own level.
ODM gear comes with two 20 to 30 foot long iron wire spears she can separately aim and shoot. That'll hook into any surface. They'll allow her to swing around like a steampunk Spider-Man.
She can zoom through the air and change directions on a dime with a
Mikasa is so cool when she uses that.
pressurized gas.
Just slaying titans like an absolute boss. Okay, I know a lot of people hated this, but honestly, I like fart jokes, okay? There, I said it. I just noticed Wizard's ears are bleeding.
I'll get another clone.
What the hell? Okay then.
Gear can propel her at speeds up to 366 kilometers per hour. That's almost a third the speed of sound.
Assuming she can reach top
Faster than Blake,
in a second.
like, can move, but she can react, like, way faster.
Times Earth's gravity.
For reference, astronauts withstand about 3 Gs of force during liftoff, and fighter pilots can withstand up to 9 Gs for a second or two during aerial combat. Even just 6 Gs
I like the use of the Simpsons footage here, too.
for a human being. But Mikasa can survive almost twice that much and fight giant monsters at the same time.
That insane speed makes her especially
Okay,
deadly
Ackerman blood.
without her
Past experience, yep.
swords made of
Pressurized cat.
ultra-hard steel, and that's
Can
exactly
carry up to 12 at a time. Thunder spears, carry up to 8,
after
yep.
watching what they can do
And the pistols, yep.
Despite their name, they're rather fragile, at least relative to the super tough Titan skin they have to repeatedly cut. So Mikasa carries a set of 12 that she can easily dispose of and replace mid-combat.
Yeah, that kind of became a problem when some super intelligent Titans started sporting crazy tough armor. That's when Mikasa breaks out the big guns.
The Thunder spears.
Spears.
Essentially,
Those things are really cool,
Thunder Spears are
but super dangerous to use.
to pierce even the armored Titan's impenetrable hide, and once their fuse is severed, they'll explode.
I mean, it more so pierces, like, the more fleshy parts, but...
Titan's armor is no joke. It was tough enough to tank punching a hole through Wall Maria.
By measuring the size of the gate in comparison to, let's go with this guy.
Let's go with this guy.
Titan violently fragmented over 1,000 cubic meters of rock.
That'd take over 18 tons of TNT, enough to level a city block, and the Thunder Spear shrank it. No surprises here. If you're too close to one of its blasts, it's game over.
Despite the awesome power
Yeah.
of her fingertips, Mikasa only really joined the military to watch over and protect Eren.
Like a loving mother hen.
Definitely.
Of
Oh,
became
slight manga spoilers there.
learned he could
I'm not gonna
also
say it.
turn into one of those super intelligent Titans.
Now humanity's greatest weapon against the Titan menace, Eren was at the center of all major anti-Titan operations, which meant Mikasa was there too, ruthlessly dispatching anyone that might harm him.
Get over yourself, Aaron. So what if your childhood home was destroyed by a Titan? You're living rent-free in this girl's head. And it could
Oh,
be-
God.
You could be Armin. Man, like she's programmed to protect him.
You're not
Funny you should say that.
His last name isn't inconsequential. Ages ago, the Ackermans were bioengineered to be subservient super soldier royal guards to the mighty Eldian Emperor.
Well, wherever all that shit came from, Mikasa's got the Ackerman blood coursing through her veins. The same blood that gives her a fraction
Strength's
of a
obviously
Titan's
greater than
power
average.
without
That's the
transforming.
power of Titans. Slightly an exaggeration to show me.
That allowed Captain
There we go.
another Ackerman, to dodge point-blank bullets. That's over Mach 2, and Mikasa can easily keep up with him.
It also lets
Absolutely.
her consciously tap into the combined experience and battle instincts of Ackerman's past. She's like the avatar of Titan.
Ah, they're actually using it.
This blood bond with Eren means that even when he goes too far, she's obligated to protect him, kind of like a robot.
It's...
Buy it, Wiz. She doesn't love him because of her DNA. She loves him because he's the only one who stood up for her when she couldn't stand up for herself. When she looks at him and the rest of her friends, she sees a hope for a brighter tomorrow.
Wow, Boomstick.
That's...
That was touching.
Yeah, I never expected that from Boomstick, of all people.
Powers.
Well, it was nice while it lasted.
Really?
Another word of this. No point.
Pause. Okay, I have to admit, Boomstick did kind of kill the mood at the end there, but I still really like Mikasa's analysis. It covered a whole lot of stuff. They mentioned stuff that's higher than what they brought up in Blake's analysis. And I have a feeling, just because I know how Death Battle usually goes about, like, they'll bring up this stuff for character A, but then they'll bring up this stuff for character B that seems more impressive, but they'll be saving more impressive stuff until the end. It's a thing that I've seen a lot of people, like, get a little mad about. But it also reinforces the whole, like... I just realized I should be talking about Mikasa's analysis just more. There's one thing in there I'm happy they didn't really talk about, but I'm at least happy it got acknowledged in some way, just for those who read the manga. If you only watch the anime, I hope you didn't see it, but, well, I'll digress. But, man, just seeing those analyses, just, it helps me remember just, like, how much I really like these characters, and that's what I love about Death Battle. Like, sometimes even when I'm watching and it's a character I've never heard of, it can make me go, wow, they sound cool. I want to know more about them. Like that sort of thing. But when it's characters I know and I'm really familiar with, it's just like, yeah, that's why I love them. Like, that's why they're so awesome. Like, and these analysis, like, definitely did that. So I gotta give mad props to Liam, who was the writer of this episode. Like, the way he capped off Blake's analysis and Mikasa's analysis, I think Boomstick's, like, a little addition of the fart line was a bit too far, but it is what it is. Like, yeah, I said I like fart jokes, but depending on how they're done. So, as I was saying before, I still believe Blake should win, just based on what they've gone over. Yeah, they brought up all this, like, speed stuff for Mikasa and other characters. It's not as fast as what they brought up for Blake. And, well, yeah, the Thunder Spears, they calced to be better than what they showed for Blake's aura. Again, I feel like they're gonna be saving, like, bigger stuff for Blake until, like, afterwards. But also, with Blake's speed edge, like, she should be able to avoid it no problem anyway. But, like, watch me end up being wrong, and it turns out Mikasa does win, and after all these years of thinking, oh yeah, Blake wins, I look like a complete idiot on the internet, but it would not be the first time. I'm not gonna take pleasure in watching either of these two die. I just ask, let the fight be good, let the soundtrack kick ass, and from what I've heard, it does. But whoever loses, just let them go out like a badass. Let's watch this freaking fight. Alright, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities. It's time for a death battle! Blake versus Mikasa, let's go!
Hey! Civilians were supposed to evacuate this area hours
I do like how it starts with Blake just reading one of her books.
coming.
It would have been funny if she was reading Attack on Titan. And Mikasa, I hope that, hope you don't die too horribly. Alright, this is more or less where the preview ends. Let's see how this goes.
Are those 2 sets of ears? She must have 4 times the hearing.
Okay, she figured that out. Moving really fast. Shadow clone! I do love how it shows her blocking all the bullets. Still haven't pulled out all the elemental stuff. Oh, there we go, as I freaking say it! She's gonna be like, what the fuck? This is just gonna annoy Mikasa, I have a feeling. Oh, Jesus! Also, Blake, are you gonna talk better? Like, talk more, I mean. Oh, Mikasa's figuring it out. Oh, Jesus! Using Levi's move. Oh, they're using that like the freaking angle like in the show! That's what I wanted! Oh! Oh, Mikasa's laying down a beating. Oh, she hasn't pulled out the Thunder Spears yet. Also, Blake, have more lines. Oh, there they are. Blake, after all these years, prove me right. Oh. Oh. Oh! Blake? Oh, shit. Oh! Oh! Oh, God! Oh!
Thunder Spear. Too bad she can't hear
Okay.
from beyond the fourth wall.
Despite Mikasa's overwhelming and frankly terrifying tenacity, Blake's varied arsenal and powers gave her a clear edge.
The ODM
That kept me on my toes. I'm very happy about that.
agility, but in terms of offense, Mikasa was kind of a one-trick pony. And that's especially compared to the Swiss anime knife that is Gamble Shroud, which could stretch 10 to 16 times longer than either of Mikasa's cables.
Blake's variety of shadows she could spam at will kept Mikasa guessing, and her aura allowed her to survive any attacks that could land.
To be fair, the Thunder Spears were a different story, and were powerful enough to shatter Blake's aura. The aura could survive around 4 tons of TNT, while the Spear's explosion could dish out over 18.
But Blake's far greater speed made her nearly
There it is.
consistently hit. While Mikasa could keep up with characters that can dodge bullets, Blake could keep up with characters that can dodge lightning. In this case, nearly 40 times faster than Mikasa.
And those Thunder Spears are meant for big, slow titans, not human opponents, so it's unlikely she'd ever get a solid hit in with one.
I mean, they'd still have great effect.
Ackerman heritage couldn't save her either.
It may give her generations worth of combat experience, Avatar style, but almost all of it was against titans, not a honest huntress like Blake, who has powers the Ackerman family has never seen before.
With her Odium Gear's limited fuel supply and breakable swords, Mikasa just couldn't end the fight before her own options ran out.
There it is.
Had guts, but Blake's speed, versatility, and sick anime combo weapon gave her the edge.
It may have been a
Man of all things to make such a die to, but
win without a shadow of a doubt.
The winner is Blake Belladonna.
Hope you guys enjoyed that episode of Death Battle. As always,
Chad, you have no idea how much I enjoyed it.
roosterteeth.com. And also click down below to watch another video.
What's next? Huh. Okay, not what I was expecting, but alright. Okay, quickly, I just gotta check. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. I have a lot of stuff to talk about for that fight, but just... Man, just... If there's anything I am happy about, just like, as messed up as this is gonna sound, I talked a lot about with friends, how, look, let Mikasa do something, like, have her take one of Blake's arms off, and she did that. Now, Max, I've mentioned this to you in multiple private chats, please confirm in the comments. Man, I have to admit, I did find Mikasa's death a little, yikes. But, goddamn, at least she literally disarmed Blake before she went out. And she kept me on the edge of my damn seat. And that's what I really wanted. I knew that Blake was gonna win, and there's some stuff that they could have also gone into that might have painted a bigger picture, but, god... Damn, and after all these years of just wanting this fight, and I'm actually a little lost for words of how much I really liked that episode. And, okay, a lot of people think that the Blake lines were just like archived audio, and I have to admit, I can kind of get that. And the credits do list Aaron Zek, which, good. I'm also just willing to believe that she just channeled like the same energy she had when recording other lines, but if for whatever reason they couldn't get Aaron to like record new lines, then I could totally understand them using archived audio anyway. Plus, Blake isn't really a character that's known for, like, banter or anything during a fight, so it's whatever. As for Mikasa's voice actor, Francesca Callo. Yeah, Francesca Callo. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. You sounded really freaking good as Mikasa. Like, I really liked your performance. So, yeah. And, like, it ends with a Titan about to attack Blake, but considering that she goes on to fight it anyway, even with just one freaking arm, and, like, and that's something else I gotta talk about, they recreated the scene where just, like, Yang loses her arm to Adam, but, with Blake and Mikasa's, like, silhouettes, and also, it's the left arm, not the right, so... I better see a fan comic of them matching, just after this now. That just makes me think, Lost Aura only has one arm, still willing to fight a Titan, what a freaking boss! Like, oh man, they painted Blake as such a badass at the end, and they painted Mikasa as such a badass, like, throughout the fight. She was just, like, laying down the beat, even, like, figuring out, like, Blake's tricks in the fight, which, yeah, she could totally do that, like, no doubt, but just Blake's statistical edges just, like, pushed it over the edge, and just... It was kind of freaky seeing the, like, flames come out of Mikasa's eyes and mouth, like, before the boom went off. Like, Jesus. But I think that is an episode I'm going to remember for such a goddamn long time. I want to quickly just talk about the next time. Poe versus Iron Fist. I've seen that matchup requested a whole lot, and I thought, yeah, that works. From what I know, I'm going to side with Poe. Yeah, I feel confident in siding with Poe, and I kind of want to watch the Kung Fu Panda movies after this now. Like, at least during the lead-up. I want to watch that freaking fight again, like, so much, and I want to actually listen to the soundtrack, because, like, shout out to the vocalists. When I first heard it, I thought it was Casey Williams, who does the vocal tracks for RWBY. Like, you sounded that good, and it has, like, elements of Attack on Titan. Like, it's got the chants in the background, like the opening theme for Season 4. Like, oh my god, I love that detail so much, and I'm just gushing over this episode so much. Like, you know, I think it's safe to say that's my new favorite episode ever. Like, especially just doing, like, a sentimental value as well. Like, because I've wanted this fight for such a long time. Like, I've requested it, like, on so many occasions, and, like, when it was announced, like, I was excited, but I'm just like, oh my god, it's actually happening. After all these years, it's actually becoming reality. And, like, the weeks leading up to it, it's just like, yeah, here's Blake's preview, here's Mikasa's preview, here's the preview for the animation. Like, I was wrapping my head just, like, around it, just all these years, just campaigning for it. Just, it finally paid off. I'm actually starting to tear up a little. And just, like, all the comments that I've gotten, or just, like, Twitter notifications of just people saying, like, congrats on finally getting this, and just, I'm happy for you. And even the meme of, like, hey, since your only mate got his dream episode, when can I get mine? Like, I never would have expected anything, like, on that kind of a level, because I don't consider myself, like, a big name in any, like fandom, like Death Battle, RWBY, or just anything, really. But this kind of overwhelming support, it's just, I'm actually a little lost for words in terms of how to, like, really describe it. Just, I like both these characters a lot, and just actually seeing them fight, it was really cool, and they did so much in the fight that I wanted to see. Like, and even some stuff that, yeah, I mentioned in private chats, but never publicly, and it happened anyway. Like, so, yeah, in terms of, like, the overwhelming support I've been getting from, like, just so many people, it's, like, impossible to name. Like, I often thought this was going to be my new favorite episode, just on a sentimental level, like, without a doubt. And previously my favorite episode was Yang vs. Tifa, mostly for a sentimental perspective, because it's the first time I ever showed my face in, like, a reaction. And this is going into a little bit of backstory, but I didn't know how well that was going to do. I didn't know how it was going to be received, because before then, I just did vocal reactions. Like, I was never on screen for anything. And when I put that video out, the response, it just, that I got from people, it's honestly one of the things that gave me the confidence to, like, keep doing this. And it's from then that I learned about this matchup and kept requesting it, and just people tying me to this matchup, like, just, like, I've read comments, I've just been casually brought up when people were talking about it, or even gone on to other lists that people have made, saying, oh, this one I got from your only mate, or, just stuff like that, and just from the sentimental value alone, this was going to be my favorite episode, like, more than most likely. Or at least come close, but just how everything went, I don't think I could have asked for this episode to be any better. Maybe Blake getting a bit more lines in the animation, but she isn't really much for banter anyway, so it's whatever. But it just painted both of them so cool. And just the analysis highlighting just like, yeah, this is why I love Blake, and this is why I think Mikasa is so freaking cool. Like, I like both these two so much. Like, if what's behind me isn't evidence enough, like, I'm actually, like, I think because I'm on camera, I'm trying my best to hold back, like, just full on crying, because I really just cannot express how much, like, this matchup, like, truly means to me, and just how good it turned out. Because I have a friend who got his most wanted matchup, but the episode admittedly wasn't that great. And I always had that, like, initial, like, there's that worry in the back of my head. Just, what if they do it and it doesn't live up to my expectations? Like, what if it ends up doing that? And I can safely say it didn't live up to my expectations. It annihilated them! And goddamn, like, this season has just been going so goddamn well. Like, even characters I don't really know or don't have that much of an attachment to, I've loved their episodes, but this was, like, the one I wanted more than ever to go well. And god damn, it... I've rambled long enough, like, how much I think about this episode, but, like, can I just say, just thank you, Death Basil. Just thank you for making this show. Thank you for, like, finally doing this matchup. Just thank you, Liam, for, like, the writing for this episode. Thank you, Josh, for directing. Thank you, like, the animators who I know are RWBY animators, and they did so much Attack on Titan stuff too, and it was so goddamn cool. And, like, thank you to the researchers for everything that was put into this. Like, just thank you to everyone involved, and just thank you to everyone who's, like, requested this matchup, who's ever, like, made a thumbnail, made a trailer, like, for it. Anyone who's said, like, I've seen people say, yeah, I just want to see your only mate be happy. And thank you for the past 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks I've actually genuinely felt that it's one of those times where I remember that people actually like me. People like what I put out. And just, like, seeing, like, all this stuff because of the episode being announced and all the stuff like coming up from it. It means more than I can describe. So, to the Death Battle team and to the Death Battle community, and like to fellow RWBY fans who I spoke to at RTX and just mentioned this matchup back in 2019 and thought it was cool, just thank you. Like this video's gone on for so long, and if anyone's actually sat through this entire thing, like you have no idea how much I appreciate it. I'm gonna go and rewatch this episode like a whole bunch of times. And also just wrap my head around just the fact that it happened. And it was good. Like, if... Okay, for, like, Too Long Didn't Read. Analysis were great. The fight was fantastic. Both characters, I think, came out looking, like, awesome. And just thank you to Death Battle for finally doing this. I'm sorry if I've annoyed anyone for just the amount of times I've requested it. And just thank you to anyone who's like also requested it. Thank you to those who have supported me throughout all these years and gotten me to 3,000 subscribers. Like, that's insane. I reached that milestone during, like, the lead up for this. I seriously can't, like, express just how grateful I am and how happy this episode being announced, like, alone has made me. So, if I'm gonna lead off on anything, it's just thank you. And, thank you for watching, thank you for supporting me up to 3,000 subscribers. It's insane. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if this episode, like, has, like, piqued your interest and made you want to check out RWBY or Attack on Titan, let me know. And don't hesitate to let me know who your favorite character is, even if it doesn't turn out to be Blake or Mikasa. It could be anybody. Like seriously. Like, you'll have a good time. Although if it's not for you, then fair play. Like, as long as you just give it a chance, that's what I'm asking. So, just thank you so goddamn much. And oh, I didn't thank Brandon. Like, Brandon, I'm gonna listen to this soundtrack, like, right when I'm done. And I thanked you so many times for commissioning Titanic Shadows. I honestly hope that maybe that helped, like, make this soundtrack better. Because it sounded so good. But anyway, I've kept this going enough. Like, the videos, this is probably the longest reaction I've ever posted. And if any of you watch through all of that, you're the MVP. So for real, to wrap this up, thank you for watching, thank you for all the support, thank you Death Battle, and here is my outro for the winner of today's episode, my Blake outro. Bye.
This is Blake Belladonna with Your Only Mate saying like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.